January 28th, 2025. January 28th, 2025. The subject of this video production is my 1994 Chevy Astro van. That was a great family vehicle when it was new in '94. Served my family well all the way to hauling my kids to college. Hurricane Andrew destroyed my other vehicles in '92. So in '94 this was a welcome addition to have a brand new vehicle. This is a real practical vehicle for family hauling with all the seats in, and with the back seat out it's very practical for its current use as a farm vehicle or work truck. Plumber's van would do equally well for that, but since I had this one I figured might as well fix it up. But the focus of this video segment is the side door, and there's nothing more frustrating than hitting the remote and it don't lock or unlock. But I fixed it, and I'll tell you how I fixed it on mine. And it goes lock, unlocks, hit unlock, and it unlocks. And you hit lock, and it locks, and you hit unlock, and it unlocks. Okay, this is one of the most difficult, most complained about thing on many posts for the Astro van and the other ML series vans of this generation. The Astro van, Savari, GMC, and I don't know how many others. But I ran this through the body shop in 2017 for a leaky windshield, and she's still leaking, so that'll be on next thing I'm going to look into. But I want to talk about this problem. Focus first on the door itself, because there's several things that could be wrong with the door. Number one is the contacts. You want to make sure, take a burnishing tool and clean those up. Make sure you have good electrical contact and the springs are good. And they sell these as replacement. You can replace this if you need to. And clean the contacts on this side. This needs to be bright and not corroded, because this is what gives you your 12 volts in one polarity or the other. And you could take like a garden, an automotive battery, or a garden variety, a garden tractor battery, and put 12 volts here, and in one direction it should lock, in the other direction it should unlock. And if it doesn't, focus on the door. And I'd start by thoroughly cleaning and lubricating this assembly here, or replace it with a new one, because they do wear out, and after 30 years you might need a new one. I didn't have to replace mine. Now if I can get inside the van, I can talk a little bit more about the other things that go wrong. Number one is the actuator to unlock or unlock, which is an electric device that push or pull and does this more or less. It could need replacement, and people say, oh, get the OEM one, it works better. Well, if it doesn't pull and push 4 pounds of push and pull, it's no good. With a good battery to test it. And I'll take you to the workbench next and show you how to test this actuator. People call it the popper, and you can call it 20 different names. But what happens with this is over time these wear, and you have to adjust these rods by selectively bending to give them more or less travel, because the actuator has a sweet spot. And let's see, where is the actuator on the door? Okay, there it is. It's right here, I believe. Anyway, there's an adjustment range that I couldn't get to. So you either bend the rods, or you take a round file, say, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch round file, and file it to get make a slot so you can move it back or forward till you hit the sweet spot on the device. And here's the electrical connector. Make sure this electrical connector is good, which is why I'll take you to the workbench, because you can waste an awful lot of time on other parts of the van, and turns out the problem is right here in the door. So you know, we'll talk about the other things you could do that could be causing your problem with it not working properly, and I'll do it with the mucker here. And this is a Viper. I put in a new mucker on mine because the old one was 30 years old and I didn't like the way it worked anyway, so, but it was best I could get back in '94. Okay, you see how it locks and unlocks, locks and unlocks. And if you've got good power at the connector, you know, with a test light, and you're getting the right voltage and the right current, you got to focus on the door. You're wasting your time if you run through the rest of the vehicle and do a lot. And I did that. I took it to a shop. They replaced this, they replaced that, blah, 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 blah. I got a big bill and it still wasn't fixed. A lot of new shiny parts, but no fix. And that's really frustrating if you don't have a fix. And while you're looking at the door, you could take some white grease here. This, they sell it in the spray can. You could spray this roller down here real good. Make sure everything's lubricated nicely. And so this is my secret fix for the side door that doesn't lock or unlock. There it goes, lock. And here we go, unlock. And I have some confidence in it. In one of the future segments, we'll talk about the Dutch doors with them locking and unlocking, but that's another segment, and we'll get into that some other day. This is not a do-it-yourself video. This is intended to be informational or entertainment. Do-it-yourself work is done at your own risk. Dennis Seatsma, Dennis John Seatsma Productions, Homestead, Florida. Please give me a thumbs up. They're greatly appreciated, or a comment if anything here helped you in any way enjoying your vehicle. Thanks. We'll get next into the actuator, how to test it on the bench. I'll show you that in the next segment. Or in a future segment, but I got a lot to do today and I can't spend all day on this. I have to do a lot more around here in the Redland area of southeast Florida, what's left of the farming area. We had 120,000 acres in the 60s or 50s, and it's down to, it's greatly diminished since then. So and they just keep building houses, and more and more unique domestic farmland keeps going to development. Cover the whole place with concrete. Thanks for watching.